Good morning, everyone. Come on in and join us. And while we are waiting for everyone to come in and join us live, I'd also like to say hello to our replay viewers. So whether you are watching the replay on Buffy's Toolbox or if you are watching it on YouTube, wherever you're at, thanks so much for coming and checking it out. And if you're not 100% sure whether or not you are here live or on the replay, if there's not a little red box up above my head that says live, then you're here on that replay. So I do my very best to be here Monday through Friday around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I try really hard to be here at 9:30. Sometimes technology allows me to be. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes my morning doesn't go the way that I anticipated it would. All that kind of good stuff. So needless to say, we do our very best to be here on Buffy's Toolbox Group live around 9:30. Let's see here. Okay, so my quick question, Jessica, check to see if Kim is... If she is not a member, she won't be able to see it, but I will be getting this up on YouTube that you'd be able to share the link with her a little bit later. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning. So how many of y'all feel like you have no idea where your profit goes? Once you make it, you kind of, get everything closed out, and before you realize it, you're going, oh my word, like I know I just had a show that was, a $300 profit. Where on earth did it go? Okay, so we're going to talk about that a little bit today. Okay, first thing, thank you, Jessica. Listen, I keep going back and forth, but quite honestly, can I be real with y'all? For me to go get my hair cut with tip is $59. For me to get my hair cut and colored and have tip is about $159. I just don't feel like spending that. So I have just been letting, y'all can see this mess, I have just been letting the blonde gradually grow out. And it's pretty well going. Now it's just my natural color. I will say I've noticed a few stray grays, if you will. But listen, I am so very thankful that even with that, it's just a couple here or there. So I just call my glitter strands. I mean, it is what it is. Gotta have a little bit of sparkle even in the hair, right? Okay, so here's what I want to share. Okay, first off, you need to make sure that you have separate accounts. Okay, separate accounts. Do not mix your business money with your personal money. There you go, Jennifer. It's just tinsel. I love that. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have those accounts separated. Okay, now you might find that it's helpful to you to have more than one account. All right, now I will say that depending on your bank and things like that, some allow you to have, as many accounts with them as you want, and there's no minimum requirement, there's no monthly fee, there's no this, there's no that. If your bank is one of those that does require a daily minimum and that sort of thing in order to not be charged a service fee each month, then you might want to consider something like Capital One 360. That is what I personally use, that I have several different accounts. But y'all, I have gotten so off track with doing this, so I am vowing now, as of this month, for every show that I do from here on out, or every order that I get from here on out, I need to be doing this, y'all. I need to be doing this, okay? So I want to share with you what my previous breakdown was. And here's the thing. You can gear this toward whatever it is that you want, but I will just tell you what mine looks like, okay? So first off, this isn't even on a full size sheet. So just to show you, okay, it's not, I don't even have it on a full size sheet just because that happens to be the way that my computer decided to print it this morning. Not sure. Okay. But I have a spot for total amount of profit. So this would be from any commission check you receive, from any show, profit that you receive, from any order profit that you receive, from any sample sales profits that you receive, whatever. Okay. You put the total for that there. And then you're going to break things down into percentages. Okay. Because of course we know there is never going to be an across the board. We might have averages, but there's never going to be an across the board certain dollar amount that you're going to be able to give to each thing. And sometimes it's going to be less, sometimes it's going to be more. All right. But you can kind of gear this toward the different things. So as an example, the different things that I should be splitting my stuff into is 35% of that profit goes into our personal account. Okay. This is just the way that it made sense for me at the time to do the percentages. You can do your percentages however it is that you want. Totally up to you. All right. So 35% to our personal account, 15% toward paying down credit cards. Okay. So this is above and beyond whatever our minimum payment is each month, to do at least 15% from each thing of profit that we get that goes straight toward additional funds for paying off a credit card. Okay. 10% to invest in our downline. Y'all, if you're not keeping some money back to invest in your downline, to be able to offer contests, to be able to offer incentives, to be able to offer gifts, to be able to whatever, okay, to be able to cut back on, as an example, our girls at our training at my home each month, they do not currently pay anything toward that training. So that helps me to cover cost of gifts that are given and things like that. 10% for business expenses. Okay. How many of you have ever found yourself realizing you need catalogs and you have no money to get them? Okay. Because you have now used the money that should have been for your business expenses. You used them to go to the movies last week, or you did this, or you did that, whatever. Okay. 10% of the total to a tax account. Okay, so this would just be a savings account where you are simply putting back a reserve just in case you find yourself having to owe taxes. Okay, 10% of the total into a regular savings, and then 10% to your church. Okay, so you notice we didn't miss our tithe. All right. But having something like this in whatever those different accounts look like for you is going to be helpful. And for those of you who are finding yourself watching everyone like getting ready for rally and realizing you can't go because you can't afford it, this would help if you were saving up for it all year long. Okay. Now I wish I would have brought my calculator back here, but maybe somebody can do it for me. Okay. Typically, for one person to go to rally, for rally cost, for airfare, and for hotel, you're probably looking at somewhere between, I would say, $600 to $700. Okay. I don't know if anybody can vouch for that for me because I've always done for two people. So I'm thinking you could probably get away with $600 or $700. Okay. So let's just err on the side of caution. Let's just say you want to be able to get some of those $6 retired items, and you don't want to be having to like scrape for money when everyone else is going to the stockyards and having a good time, and you want to be able to make sure that you're able to go do those things as well. So let's just say $700. So will somebody do me a favor, because my only calculator back here is on my phone and I'm using my phone to do this recording. So will someone do $700 divided by 52? And tell me what that total is. $700 divided by 52. Someone put that in the chat stream for me. I wish I could just do this math in my head, but I can't. Sorry. Okay, so $14.47. So if you saved $14.47 every week, or $13.47. I'm not sure. Okay, so somewhere between there. Let's just say, even if you rounded it and said either $12 or $15 per week, you could have what you need to be able to attend rally next year. And you wouldn't have to worry about having to miss it. All right? So I mean, I want you to think about that. That is totally doable, guys. That is totally doable. So do not allow yourself to be in this position next year where you're going, man, I wish I could afford to go to rally. You can if you pre-plan, okay? So think about that. Is it worth it to you to save $13.47 per week to make sure that you can be on a flight with some of your best girlfriends going out to Texas and having a great time, being able to get that training that, listen, I know they put trainings on the website, but listen, that is such a, I don't want to say it's a small part of rally, but truly it is, because it's not going to capture all the individual conversations that you get a chance to have with people. It's not going to make up for all those relationships that you're building. It's not going to make up for the tips and tricks that you get from jewelers while you're waiting in line in a bathroom, okay? It's not going to take the place of that stuff. It's not going to take the place of those relationships that you're building with your premier family and with those that you only get a chance to see once a year at rally, okay? So it is so imperative that you do not miss rally each year, okay? So here's the thing. I can tell you that since I've been in 2007, there are only 2 rallies that I did not go to. One was in 2007 because I had literally just come in. I hadn't even had an opportunity to make any money yet, okay? I was still trying to pay back my investment by the time rally was coming around. So I didn't get a chance to go my first year. The other year that I missed was the year of 2012, which was when we purchased our house, and we had literally just settled on our home, which cost some money for closing costs and down payment and everything else. So I wasn't able to go to rally that year. Every other year, I've made it a point to be there. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that I've been perfect in saving for it, but I make sure that I'm able to have the funds there and available in some way, shape, or form so that I don't have to miss it. And I still remember Gary Googe telling us one time, when do you think the last time is that somebody asked if I was going to be at a rally? And it just really made me think, because I'm going, that truly shouldn't even be a question for us. It really shouldn't be, especially if this is something that we want long term and we want to make this a career. This is absolutely not something that should even be of question. We should be there. Okay, so that's just my thoughts on it. All right, so again, but you can divide these up any way that you want to be able to ensure that you're going to have what you need when you need it. You know, so come the end of the tax year, if you find that you've made a lot of money and you now owe the IRS some income tax, well, guess what? You would have been saving for it all throughout the year. You would now be able to pay them from the funds that you would have been saving all year long, okay? If you need business expenses, you would have a business expense account that you can go to and pull money from. You want to throw a big bash for your downline? You want to have a big Christmas party for your downline and just spoil them rotten? You would be able to if you would have been saving 10% of your profits to be able to spoil your downline, okay? So it's different things like that that you want to be able to look at and say, okay, what do I need to do in this business? What do I need to do with my family's finances that I want to make sure that I have money set aside for? Okay. Now, it's not to say that there wouldn't ever come a time where you might not need to pull from one or things like that. But listen, if you are able to pull, as an example, from your savings account as a way to be able to take care of business expenses until you're able to replenish that, then listen, that's what you can do. But you don't have to worry about pulling from your family funds or pulling from bill funds to be able to take care of that. Does that make sense? So this is something that I really hope to be able to get back into for a little while. Actually, since about this time last year, we weren't able to do that simply because pretty much 100% of my profits was having to go into our bank account, because for about 6 to 8 months last year, my husband was working 2.5 hours one way away from home. So it was costing us about $250 per week in gas and tolls. And that was extra on top of what we, typically have to do. So we took about $1,000 per month cut in doing that. So literally all of my profit, I can't talk yet. Profit was having to go toward our personal account so that I could help pay the bills. That's a good thing that I had that. Okay. But now that hopefully lots of prayers going up, that he will be on a more local job, hopefully starting tomorrow, and hopefully carrying him through Christmas, I can get back to doing this, okay? Because his income is enough to pay our bills, that I don't typically have to worry about that, okay? So usually my money was kind of our, I don't want to say fun money, but it allowed us, the opportunity to be able to do some additional fun things, or to be able to spoil other people and that kind of thing. So now I'll be able to get back to doing that. So it just kind of hit home for me this morning that I'm going, you know what? I don't know that this is something we've ever covered in one of these trainings. And I don't know that it's something most people think about. So I'm hoping that this might have given you some insight of how to be able to really pay attention to where your funds are going. And here's the thing, that 35% that you're putting into your personal account, make sure you flag that in some way, shape, or form, that is a paycheck to you, okay? Even if it means that you have to write yourself a check from your business account so that you can cash it and put it in your regular account, or if you're just doing a transfer of funds, there's always, for most, I would think, there's a little memo section, if you're just transferring from one account to the other, that you should be able to put in there that that's your personal paycheck. So if you have someone like a spouse who might be going, I don't know where you think you're making money at, because I haven't been seeing any money come in, that you would be able to pull up all of the transfers or all of the checks that were cashed to you that went into the personal funds that were then used for different things. Maybe it was clothes for the kids. Maybe it was helping toward bills. Maybe it was whatever. Who knows what you would have spent stuff on. But at least that they would be able to see that there were funds that were provided to the family income with you doing your business. Okay. And that is huge, especially for many men who are numbers guys, and their thought is, take care of the family, take care of the family. But if all they're ever seeing is expenses being taken care of, and they're not really understanding that you have used some of your profit toward personal things, they don't necessarily understand that there has been any profit coming in. I hope that makes sense. So, listen, I hope bad means good to trees. Too funny. Kind of like when people say, oh, that's sick. All right, I guess that means good, right? So, gotta love it. So anyway, so just out of curiosity, does anyone have any additional thoughts of things that could be in there, of, different, anything that wouldn't have fallen under what I've already said? Thank you, sweetheart. So again, I'll just tell you how I plan to be breaking down my profit. And you can choose to do whatever it is that you want. But for me, as an example, the 15% toward paying down credit card debt, listen, maybe the credit card debt is not something that's even an issue. Okay. Maybe that is it. Maybe you don't have credit card debt. Okay. Then that could go somewhere else. All right. Do you see what I'm saying? So yes, Kelly Renewal. Listen, if y'all are not putting $30 per month back into that renewal savings program, please consider doing that. Even if, let's say you're already 6 months in and you haven't saved anything, at least save that $30 per month every month that you're putting into that renewal savings. And by the time you come around to the next year, you at least would have already had half of it saved. Okay. So yes. Now I will say that when I'm talking, no, the savings program is not gone. The RSVP, the Rally savings program is gone. The renewal is still there. The renewal savings program is still there. It's the Rally savings program that they did away with. So that used to be called the RSVP program. That was something that you could put a certain amount of money each show or whatever, that you could put money aside for being able to go to Rally and that kind of thing. And then Premier would reissue the funds back to you about 2 weeks before Rally. So you could use that for your Rally expenses and that sort of thing. And they gave you free jewelry based on the amount of money that you would have saved in that RSVP program. That is the one that is gone. The renewal savings plan for being able to pay your renewal fee each year is still there and still in effect. Okay, I hope that clears that up. I know a lot of people have been kind of confused about that, but from my knowledge, you still have the option every single time that you upload anything to Premier. You have an option to be able to prepay any amount that's $10 or more into your renewal savings. Okay, so every time you upload a show, listen, and that could be something that you do. Maybe every time you upload a show, you just put $10 into that renewal savings, and then you use whatever that profit is left as the profit total that you're adding to this. Okay, now for me, when I'm talking business expenses, that renewal is still part of that business expense. But I think I may just do it that I put $10 in each time I upload an order, and then whatever my profit after that would be, that's what I use. So Patrice, you're awesome. All right. So, but does anybody else have anything else that they'd like to throw in there? And then I'm going to hop off here because I got one of my girls coming to swap out. She has our loaner kit, and she's coming today to swap out some items that are getting ready to retire so we can replace them with items that are staying current so she can keep using that loaner kit. So I have her coming, and I still got to get to the post office. So if anybody has any other suggestions, please feel free to drop them in the comment stream. Would love to be able to see those, even if it's after the live. Okay. Yes. So example was 35% to the personal account, 15% toward paying down credit cards, 10% to invest in our downline, 10% for business expenses, 10% to a tax account, 10% to our savings, and 10% to the church. Okay. So yes, so that was the, the breakdown of what I plan to get back into now that hopefully hubby will be working closer to home and we won't have that fuel and toll expense that we have been having. So, so pray for him today, again, if you wouldn't mind, because today is hopefully the last day. Aaron, I will absolutely share this. Now, I don't think I have it in an editable form. I think I said that right. But you're welcome to either use it as is or just kind of use it as a guideline. I know that Kelly, I believe, yes, Kelly had actually posted up above what those items were. And then, like I said, I mean, it's just, now I know that's probably backwards for you guys. But so I just have a notebook filled with a bunch of these that then every time you have something come through that's profit, that you can just go ahead and jot it down. So I have, this is normally a full page. I don't know why my computer printed it out weird this morning. But there's at least a spot for up to 3 different profit things for, each sheet. So it's not like it's one sheet per profit opportunity, if that makes sense. So, all right. So I'm going to let you guys go. If you have any other questions, please feel free to drop it in the comment stream or message me directly, just in case I happen to miss that. Because again, sometimes I get notifications, sometimes I don't. So I just look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I pray this has been helpful for you, and I will be getting this up on YouTube as soon as I possibly can, so that you guys can share it out with your team. So thanks so much for being here. I so appreciate you all. Love to you, and many prayers and blessings in your business.